What up, y'all? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. We're going to be talking all things Raw and so many other things coming up next on this edition of WWT Live.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
What up, y'all? TK Trinidad here for WWT Live, the Monday edition. We have so many things to talk about. We had a crazy, great weekend of wrestling, and I'm not alone. The PR princess herself is in the building to talk all things wrestling. Courtney Rice.
Yeah, it's all things. It's been a very crazy weekend. It's the first day of June. We're almost in summer. And it's kind of interesting because Raw came on earlier in the day. So it's kind of weird that it's earlier in the day. Then after this, it's like, oh, Raw's not on tonight. We get a kind of a free day.
Yeah, what do we do now? I tried to watch it, and I really was the intent, and then all the phone calls started coming. However, if you guys didn't get a chance to watch Raw, you know what you can do is go and get yourself a NordVPN. I get that discount, 77% off. Use the discount code WWT. And so you can watch it and not give, well, actually, no, you can watch it on Netflix, so you're good. So anything else, if you want to watch all things WWE, you can watch it on Netflix. Go and get yourself a NordVPN. Also, our super chats are open, so that means for $2 or more. Let us know what you want to ask us, like why my hair is so big, because I don't know why it's big either. So all the things, so definitely that. Let's get into, well, did you get to watch the Raw recap at all?
I actually watched 1 hour of Raw because I had to take care of other errands. So I did lead up to like Roman and Jacob. Jacob did acknowledge he was with the bloodline, I guess, like back together again somewhat. And also we did start the King and Queen tournament. I did see the male one, Obafemi advance. I did see Sol Ruca. She spoke for the first time as Women's Intercontinental Champion, and she's ready for a challenge. Also, and you might have caught this because you watch Netflix on the international side, Finn Balor is now on the Blue brand for SmackDown. He's officially moved to the Blue brand, which is so good for him. And I love it because I don't think we ever had an interaction with him and Cody. We might have, but I'm in for it. It's nice to see Cody get some fresh new challengers after Gunther. I mean, Gunther be looking, but I'm happy that Finn's going to the Blue brand and get an opportunity to shine in singles action.
So what do you think? Because we talked about this yesterday after Clash in Italy. And since you saw a little bit of it as far as the bloodline's concerned, what do you think is going to be happening with that?
I think probably because if you saw yesterday with Solo and the rest of the MNTs, it looks like there's going to be revolved around them. Also, I did see the beginning. Apparently, everybody in the bloodline is putting a note out to the entire roster. Now, obviously, of course, we saw what happened the last time the bloodline did it because you made so many enemies. Very curious of that. Obviously, of course, you have LA Knight as an enemy. Maybe Seth, because I know Seth has his issues with the Vision, but of course he still has some unfinished issues with the bloodline. But it's going to be very interesting to see how that escalates. And also with the fact too, I mean, nothing against Jay, but I know Jacob wanted to slap Jay in the face because look, I know you're the Yeet Man, but it's like you're kind of like his lackey in somewhat because I think Jacob is ready to slap him in the face. But it's kind of family. It's going to be very interesting how this is going to follow, and also for the rest of the brand. And also, we now know Roman's dates are kind of limited in June, but also curious on who's going to face him at SummerSlam. Like who's going to be either or.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact that Roman has like limited dates in June, and I think, you know, I'm suspecting probably limited dates for the rest of his career because he's Roman Reigns. I don't think this is the last we're going to see of Jacob challenging. Like, it's like, all right, cool, I lost. I'll acknowledge you for now. But, you know, we might run this back. So, you know, for those people who don't like the, oh, thanks, Crystal. For people who don't necessarily like the bloodline storyline, like they're just over it because it's been what, like, I don't know, 10 years, 15 years.
Something like that. It's something.
Yeah.
It's an ongoing thing.
Yeah. So, I think this is another version. So we'll see how that kind of all goes over. For those folks who are like, because I was going to ask you before you started talking about Raw, I was like, I don't know, some people are waiting because obviously they wait till get off work, etc. But I hope you blocked your ears if you didn't want any spoilers. So it is what it is. But what also is happening today is a couple of birthdays. So who do we have?
We got Megan Bain, the Mega Sis, and Miss Alicia. Both of them have birthdays today, which shockingly enough, I found out it is their birthdays today. They are Geminis, which actually is not surprisingly. But happy birthday to both of these ladies. Megan Bain has been killing it in AEW. She's one half of the reigning women's tag teams with the Divine Dominion with Lena Cross. And Alicia, I mean, obviously, of course, people know her as Mrs. Scumbag, the guy that's the reigning AEW champion, and I could care less about him. But a little bit about Alicia before she started. She interviewed pretty much across the board on all wrestling platforms.
Yeah, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And Canadian.
She's from Canada. She loves music. She's very into music. She said it many, many times. She's really into that stuff. So I'm very happy she is killing it backstage, doing everything. And also, of course, just trying to enjoy being Mrs. Scumbag in a way.
All right, there it is. So Ruca, so she had an incredible night last night. It feels so crazy when you think of AAA had a crazy night on Saturday, and then you had it followed by a Clash in Italy. And I don't know about you, but it feels like it happened a long time ago, even though it was yesterday, or it's just my schedule is just crazy. But she had an incredible night. She is the champion now. She was asked about her critics watching her every move, which I feel like when you get on the main brand, that's what is going to happen anyway, especially when you're positioned against Becky Lynch. So what did she have to say for this?
So just a little bit, because this is after actually she won the Women's Intercontinental Championship, and this was during the post show. She was asked about her critics watching her every move and if it factors into how she feels when she's in the ring. She kind of goes into saying 100%, even in NXT, we get people that are, watching every move. And we get people that are, leaving hate comments and all this negativity. And essentially being up on the main roster, you have more eyes, which means more hate, but also means more love. So it is something that I've had to kind of navigate because it wasn't something that I thought of when I got signed, that it was going to be like, oh, this means that there's going to be more eyes or more people, trying to nitpick everything. But at the end of the day, especially with people on social media, that's such a small percentage of our fan base. And as long as the crowd in person is happy and, everyone backstage is happy with what I do, then that's fine with me.
There's nothing more to say. And also, too, like, how old is she again? I feel like she's like, let's see. I feel like she just got out of college. So like putting so much pressure, she is 26. So putting so much pressure on somebody like for that world stage, I don't know. It's just weird. Like, not saying you don't expect greatness, but also realizing that it takes time. But we'll see. I think she's been doing a phenomenal job in NXT, and then also given this opportunity on the main roster. So we'll see how it all kind of pans out. Something else that's going to be panning out June 13th is Pound Town Wrestling. I have gotten confirmation that Ced will be there doing, I don't know, something, but definitely check it out in Los Angeles. Something.
This is a no DQ match.
You know who you're talking to?
But as I'm looking around, I don't see anyone more beautiful than me.
Last Downtown was supposed to be my debut win.
What are you doing in my office, girl? The locker room is over there.
Ooh. Town.
Pound Town Wrestling.
I really wanted to congratulate this entire crew, family, friends, loved ones, hard work. I commend all of you. Pound Town Wrestling. Here it is.
You're on mute.
And oops. Oh,
Wait.
there we go. So definitely check out Pound Town Wrestling, coming to Los Angeles June 13th. Something else that we have to kind of keep track of is the contract of Mike Santana. Apparently, according to WrestlingNews.co, they said that WWE might have some interest. So what's the deal with that?
Well, WrestlingNews.co, but courtesy of PWI Insider, because they were the ones that originally broke out in the story. So pretty much WWE has shown interest in before, and Mike Santana, who is the reigning TNA World Champion, will have his contract expired sometime in July. As we know, he's currently in his second reign, and he's doing very well holding the TNA brand. And pretty much the contract timing puts him in the same free agent conversation as Leon Slater. As we know, he lost the X Division title to Cedric Alexander, and apparently his contract is almost expired in TNA, but we don't know where that's going to go. And pretty much it's very, very interesting because Matt Hardy did talk about this a lot on his podcast, The Extreme Life of Matt Hardy, comparing the company to ECW in the late 90s, thinking TNA sits third behind WWE and AEW, and the two bigger players could usually outbid if for established names heading into free agency. But right now he is the champion, and this is going to be a developing story for a while. So hopefully we do get to see him stay in the TNA realm.
Yeah. I mean, was there anybody who said that like WWE is number one, AEW number two, and TNA is number three? Was there anybody say anything different? I don't know.
I think it's interesting.
We'll see what happens with that.
And I also want to say too, because this is where I'm going to get a little nervous, because I know TNA, they've been in their own lane for quite some time. And obviously, of course, they have signed former WWE stars, but I just don't want it to be like a watered down version of WWE, as you mentioned with AAA. Because you mentioned with AAA, they have their own stars, and you don't want it to be too watered down. And that's something I really want with TNA. I want them to keep some of their stars. They do have him. They do have Steve Macklin. They have Trey Miguel. And even they helped revive careers with Mustafa Ali, because he has the entire Order 4. And then you have the system. And also you have Lei Ying Lee, who's the reigning TNA Knockout champion, and obviously Zaya Brookside. And of course, Tessa Blanchard filling out the roster. So I think this is something that internally TNA has to think about, because this is one of your main players. Like, this is the person that you want to be TNA World Champion. You don't want to give him that soon, because after him, then it's like you have to really think about it. Because if Leon Slater is not re-signing, then that's going to be very interesting, because outside of like Steve Macklin, Mustafa Ali, what's going to happen there?
Yeah, yeah, it's always, because I remember when there was a time when like people got let go from WWE, and like, oh, we hope that they'll be signed with AEW. And I agree, it's kind of one of those things that you do want those homegrown stars, but I think because of where we are in social media, and how much wrestling and television is out there, if you watch enough wrestling, you can't help but to cross over. So, homegrown stars is a little bit relative. I mean, obviously we have a few people who started and stayed at certain companies, but the way, in particular WWE is signing and then unbooking people is just kind of like, it's part of the course with that, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, all I can really hope is that he remains employed with somebody. That's the
Somebody.
the main goal. I guess he could. So where would you put him under AJ Styles? He wants to open invite only training facility like the Dungeon. Where would you, before we kind of go into his story, where would you put AJ Styles? Because is it more Japan? Is it more TNA? Or would you consider him mainly WWE? Because he had a whole career before he got signed to WWE.
For me, it was TNA. That's how I got introduced to AJ Styles, was the Impact Zone. He was one of the franchise players to help build TNA. That's how I learned more about him. He was the inaugural TNA X Division champion and had countless rivalries. So that's how I knew him. And you missed out. For anybody that did not watch TNA when it was in the Impact Zone and you had the X Division and you had the infamous Ultimate X match, you got to go watch some of those matches. You got to watch those matches when he was there. So many other guys that were there helped shaped it. And obviously, of course, I knew he was in New Japan, but TNA was what really drew the map on it. And being one of those franchise players, I was very happy that I got to witness some of the action in real time.
Okay. Well, now with that being said, so AJ, he wants to open an invite-only training facility like the Dungeon. And, we've been seeing, if you follow, I think it's following more, I don't know if the Dungeon has their own social media, but if you follow Natty, you're seeing all the great things that she's doing at the Dungeon, the kind of invite-only. You're seeing a lot of wrestlers kind of go over there. I think we definitely need more of that, especially with somebody of the caliber of AJ. So tell us a little bit more about what he's planning on doing.
Yeah, so this is on the, hold on, because dealing with a few pop-ups here, but on the Phenomenally Retro podcast recently, AJ Styles did talk about this, and he was asked if he would open a training facility in the future. He said that he would like to have an invite-only training facility like Natty and TJ Wilson have at the Dungeon. He kind of goes on to say, I would like to get something like Natty and TJ have with their Dungeon because it's an invite-only kind of experience. You're invited. That means that you're well enough known that we know you can get in here and you can hold your own in this ring. To have something like that close to me so that I can work with WWE ID guys and girls, that would be great. That would be important. The way I could see the progression, I could help them out with the little things and help them get to the next level. Maybe they're hoping to get a tryout, and before the tryout, we can get in there and work together for a little bit. That would be something that I would like to do. And obviously, of course, you could check that out because he really much goes into details on this and also other things on that podcast as well.
I definitely want to see that. I do like seeing, you have so many other wrestlers who have wrestling schools, but the invite only is, it hits a little bit different. Hey, Lynette. Hey, Tiki. I see the former United States Champion Julia as the face of. Okay, well, we'll see. Change her hair color to blonde. We'll see. Shout out to Crystal, Mike, Zach, and Eric in the chat as well. But let's get into Swerve Strickland. Because I'm curious. There's some news that happened with him today. What went down?
This is actually very interesting for me, but hold on, let me pull up the story. So this was actually a very interesting story that came out. Swerve Strickland gate crashed a streamer's home. So pretty much in one of his recent videos, Twitch streamer Bobby Monsoon criticized Swerve Strickland. He called Swerve an Uber driver because he is really good at taking shortcuts. This was in reference to his Double or Nothing victory he had against Bandino in the Owen Hart Cup men's tournament. Swerve had attacked Bandino on Ring of Honor before his match, and pretty much Swerve commented on Bobby's video with some angry emojis. But on May 29th, he gate crashed Bobby's stream while he was reviewing Friday Night SmackDown. Swerve made him do the Who's House, Swerve's House catchphrase, but he didn't like Bobby's energy, despite asking him to do it multiple times. He then attacked Bobby and even choked him out before he's leaving. Pretty much, Swerve acknowledged the situation on social media by posting a link to Bobby's YouTube video, but Bobby eventually apologized to Swerve online for his comments. He kind of goes and say, I publicly apologize to Swerve and the IWC for my shenanigans. I'll do better moving forward. Yeah.
I don't even know how to play this. Well, I mean, there it is.
This is what happens when you are a narc. This is what happens where some people, even though you have the biggest followers and the loudest mouth, should not have a microphone because of stuff like this. That's why.
Well, I mean, isn't it America? Everybody's entitled to their opinions, and
entitled,
if you
but
have an opinion, then
it is entitled, but
things
some
may happen.
Entitled, but some people. Well, we talked about this many times. Some people in the IWC narcs of the world said some things, and I'm like, okay, yeah, you should not say that on socials.
And then the other question is, we were to really break this down, which I'm so trying not to go down the rabbit hole. But how did he find his house? How did he get in the house?
I don't even know.
All the things. Like,
I don't even know how he did it or crashed his YouTube stream.
Right. Oh my gosh, Dylan. Oh, we haven't even used this one. Let me find this one just for you, Dylan. We have not used this in such a long time, but this is for you, a producer from the future. Oh goodness! Wait, how did Dylan and Bosa, you guys show up at the same time? Because I was wondering where you guys were. It's like, how did that show up? Are you guys coordinated?
That's very interesting. One comes in, the other one follows.
Right? Happy post Raw, everybody. Let's go into Dave Meltzer and what he said on Wrestling Observer Radio. What's going on with Uncle Dave?
Oh boy, good old Uncle Dave. Well, hold on, let me pull up the full article on full tweet on this. So he kind of said this on Wrestling Observer Radio over the weekend that Kendal Grey's upside is better than every woman in AEW, including Mercedes Moné, and that if he were Tony Khan, he would be reaching out to her right now, pretty much talking about her on her ability. I think her upside is better than any of them. I mean, she's a better athlete than all of them, every single one, including Mercedes. She's quicker. Yeah, I mean, she's got more potential than any of them. And pretty much on what he would do as Tony Khan of all the people in NXT in the WWE system. I mean, I don't know what her contract situation is. And I said this before, if I was Tony Khan, she'd be the one where it's just like, got the word out, like, you got a place here and you don't have to spend another year there. You'll be up here. And especially now, look, the AEW women's division right now, there's a lot of injuries. Willow is the top of the ones that are there today because there's no Mercedes right now. There's no Toni Storm for a long time. There are spots there on her matches. I watch her matches. I think they're better than any of the AEW women's matches, like our match with Kalani Jordan. I mean, there have been AEW women's matches before that, but not lately.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, anybody who is able to capture people's attention on television could do a great job. It's more about stories and, all the things. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Bosa said an interesting thing. What did he say? Where was it? I saw this and was like, he has to be the biggest mark for AEW. I mean, it's like, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, I mean, it's possible. I mean, like I said, anybody who's on television does a good job, else they wouldn't be on television. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't be a terrible wrestler, and because at the end of the day, if this was a drinking game, it's all about return on investment. And so if you are a snooze fest on TV and the company doesn't have an ulterior motive, a la Roman Reigns back in the day, then like you're not going to be on TV very long. That's why WWE cuts a lot of people. You won't be. A couple things will happen. One, you won't get a story, and you won't be in a story for a long time, and then you'll get cut. Like, it's just so. I mean, it's obvious that should be great. What are your thoughts?
I mean, look, I never have a problem with anybody speaking their opinion, But number one, it's blatant contract tampering because she's under contract with WWE. Number one. Number two, this is what happens when you don't pay attention to some AEW, because for him to say they haven't been good women's matches, I do watch alongs. I'm not saying this just because I do watch alongs and I watch it, but there's been some good women's matches the last couple of years. Like, and I said this a couple months ago regarding what happened with Toni Storm and Mercedes. It's like, you can't depend on them. You have a whole roster that you could play around with. I mean, we just saw Tekla. She's the reigning AEW Women's Champion, and she's like one of the top heels, which like she's got to wipe the floor off of almost everybody that she calls. And with the fact too, when I was watching Hikaru Shida, this is the first time I've seen her have personality, and she speaks English so well. Like even before that, she didn't have much, but it like seeing her speak so much English and have a personality with Chris Statlander, that's pretty much something. And also with the fact too, I know people love Sheeta, but like when I was in Philly, like there were signs devoted to her. Same thing with Chris Statlander. Like granted, I've been saying like she needs a character development and some things with that, but also there are some good women. Like granted, and I hate to say this, and I said this a couple months ago, I just don't think Uncle Dave is a fan of women's wrestling, because sometimes you've had a little bit of a dirty laundry because you said what you said a couple of years ago regarding Peyton Royce, and also Charlotte regarding Charlotte's facial. So that's also another thing too. But they're killing it, and they are putting good matches. Now, granted, it's not going to be on the same level as WWE. Like, let's be very clear about that. They just need to stay in their own lane and just figure it out. Like, yes, Willow Nightingale is injured. We're still figuring out with the TBS title. There are so many routes that you could go with the TBS title. And also it does give opportunity for women to shine. Obviously, of course, Queen Aminata just came back from injury. Athena we're starting to see her a lot more. I mean, we have seen her on AEW regular television, but now she's starting to get more into the sense with being the forever Ring of Honor Women's Champion. We just saw Red Velvet had a match against Willow, so I'm happy to see her back on there. Also, Marina Shafir is getting time, obviously teaming with Jon Moxley and Death Riders. So and yes, my gal Alex Winstor and Jamie Hayter and the Brawling Birds are doing very well. So it's kind of like, listen, at the end of the day, it's his opinion, but he just doesn't like women's wrestling, period.
Well, obviously, we love women's wrestling. That's the name, Women's Wrestling Talk. And with that being said, we love covering women's wrestling, and we have an archive for you guys to check out.
Women's wrestling didn't just show up yesterday in glitter boots. We've been here the entire time, body slamming through history.
The Women's Wrestling Archive launches 2026, and it's going to pave the way for all women's wrestling. Because if we don't document it, a man might think he did it first.
This has been a passion project for a very long time. Head over to the womenswrestlingarchive.com to donate 1, 5, or whatever you can. It all goes a long way.
Let's give these women the spotlight that they've always deserved.
Her story belongs in history. Help us preserve it today. Join us at womenswrestlingarchive.com. Support the archive. Support women's wrestling. Donate today.
All right. We talked a little bit about WWE and AEW as far as different respective people going to these brands. Kaitlyn says she's totally open to a potential WWE run or WWE return, I should say. So tell us a little bit more about this.
Yeah, this was actually very interesting that it popped up, and somebody was asking her about this. As you mentioned, Kaitlyn did leave WWE in 2014 and hasn't made a full retime since. She did participate in the 2018 Mae Young Classic. She was speaking on Rewind, Recap, Relived, and she was asked about a potential WWE return. And she kind of said she's totally open to it. I totally am. I've been open to it in the past for a while. And also elsewhere in the interview, hold on, let me see. The wrestler, she commented on missing WrestleMania 29, and she said, if you use, let me discredit that message, but pretty much she said she's totally open to it. She's been open up to it in the past for a while because this has been an ongoing thing, because I know she's making appearances at Comic-Cons, meet and greets. She did have a reuniting with AJ Lee. So that's been something. But do you think, because Kaitlyn did say that she is open to it, is there a spot for her in the current women's division that we're in with WWE?
With the current, it's like it's not just the current position of WWE. It's the current position with WWE, TKO, and Endeavor, and the way that TKO is operating. I just don't know. I don't see it. Like we're getting women there. There's plenty of women as far as on the roster. It's more the storylines, and we're getting some stories here and there. But I don't know if it's possible right now. Like I don't know if we're gonna get the second chances unless when you left, you were like, for instance, like the Bella Twins, right? It's an easy layup to bring them back. So again, the return on investment, what makes sense to build this person in the storyline, will it move enough of the needle for people to want to see it happen? So I don't know.
For WWE, no, but I could see her maybe helping out in TNA, because I know TNA is in a reset for their knockouts division. Because actually, the entire knockouts division, because you have your tag team division, you have your knockout championship. So maybe that could be a little bit of a help out there, because I know they're still trying to figure out, because they're kind of in rebuild mode. But she could be a good asset in the TNA aspect.
Yeah. Bosa's saying, would Kaitlyn do a part-time schedule? See, the part-time schedule, even though it's part-time, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like you have to be in a certain caliber to do part-time. You can't just come, like, if you are, I don't even know how to explain it. I don't even know a good analogy, but it's just kind of like you have to be so good that you can do part-time. Like it doesn't, that's not offered to everybody. And I don't know if Kaitlyn, it would work for her.
Good and box office. Like Brock Lesnar is one example.
Yeah. Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, like there's, part-time is not reserved for everybody. Something else that's going to be happening in the future, new AEW TBS champion to be crowned on July 1st. So tell us a little bit about this.
Well, I didn't watch Collision, but I did follow this announcement in particular because apparently Tony was making the announcement, which is very odd, July 1st, which is very, very odd because
it's like such a I
was like, that's very bizarre because it's like you have a pay-per-view at Forbidden Door. You crowned it at Forbidden Door if that was the case. But I understand because you have the Owen Hart Cup women's tournament. Right. Also, you can utilize the women who are not in the tournament. Could be utilized for the TBS. And there are actually, because I am going to put an article about this on who do I think should be TBS champion, because there's some potentials that they could help be the new face of TBS and help it grow, and not just like in the US, but travel. Like I would love to see it travel to other promotions like Stardom, CMLL, New Japan. That would be so good. But now, Dylan, I don't think they're going to give it to Mercedes, because I could think of a lot of good ladies. I mean, I could give you one pick I had in my article that I'm going to write is Jamie Hayter, because Jamie's in an interesting spot, because I've been wanting her to have a blood feud with Tekla for God knows how long. But I think this is going to be a good segue for her to find something to do, and also really bringing that attention, because she was born in the UK, wrestled there, being the new face of TBS and really bringing that. I would not be shocked if Marina Shafir was the TBS champion, because she's second in command to Jon Moxley. So that could also be a little bit of a strength with the Death Riders. Also, I would not be shocked if you brought in somebody from Stardom, like who is not participating in the tournament. So there's many angles. I just kind of wish it was at Forbidden Door. Like you could have announced the winner there. That would be a good joint pay-per-view.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, this is like we've been saying, it's a relatively still a new company. Yes. And I was actually watching, for my Canadian folks who know this company, Pizza. And there's this YouTube video about how it's been around since like the 1950s and it survived the pandemic and all these things. And all it really did was it pivoted. And no, I'm not sponsored by Pizza, but it was known that like the cheese tastes like cardboard, like, all these things, right? And so what they did is that no matter what happened, they figured out a way to continue surviving. And I think that's what AEW, is doing. Not to say, well, I don't know what their books look like, but I feel like they're just trying so many different things in order to really maintain that number 2 spot and eventually get to that number 1 spot if it ever does happen. So we can't fault them for trying different things, but some of the stuff is just like,
it's just like you just have. I really wish I was backstage internally to see what goes through the mind when it comes creatively, especially in their women's division. Because I just want to listen. I don't want to say anything. I just want to listen and see what ideas there, and just see what's working, what's not working. How can we help elevate this? And also people have to remember the TBS title came in like it's still new. Yeah, you remember the first person that won it was Jade. Yeah, Jade was the first person that won it. And then after that,
crazy. How long ago was that? Was that 4 years ago?
Yeah, it was 4 years ago.
Wow,
it's crazy. Wow. And then after that, Chris Statlander beat her for the title when she came back from injury.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a time. It was a time. So we'll see what happens. I am really curious to see who's going to, because also remember, gone are the days, at least. Or maybe you just pick and choose. Because remember when Thunder Rosa got injured and she was still the champion as the interim champion. I'm kind of, I wonder if did they just do away with that? Like the interim champion is just such a weird place to be in.
It was very weird. It was a very weird.
It's a weird time. Trying things.
It was. I mean, I commend them for trying. I can't knock them for trying.
Very true. Very, very, very true. Is there anything else that we've missed? I feel like it was a great weekend, but also like all the I don't want to say the drama, all the entertainment and all the wow and all the energy went to the weekend. I feel like we covered it because we had so many shows this weekend.
From wow
to we covered so many. I think you got a good 6 to 7 hours of this weekend. So I think we covered almost everything. Is there anything else that we missed?
Shout out to Taya Valkyrie because today is her wedding anniversary.
Yeah, I saw that, and she's also gonna be at Pound Town Wrestling. So if you want to meet Taya is such an amazing woman. So if you don't want to meet her, definitely check out Pound Town Wrestling. There's gonna be a couple other folks too. Victoria is gonna be there as well from TNA. Formerly Alicia Fox, so she's gonna be there too. So a lot of good things. So definitely want to check that out. I think that's it. Definitely going. Tantalizing Tony is still in Italy, so you'll get a raw post show from him next week, not this week. And now, as far as the mayor's corner, you just have to ask the mayor as to when he's going to be having his show. So a lot of things.
God bless Tony for traveling to Italy. God bless him.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, I think that's a wrap. It's time to get back to the rest of the day.
Yeah. I think we covered
Both to say Rosa's at 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Raw was at 11 a.m. here. Is it going to be 2 p.m. next Friday too, or next Monday too?
Yeah, it has to be next
and
Monday.
SmackDown's on tomorrow?
SmackDown?
What? I'm so confused.
I mean, I know SmackDown maybe going back to 2 hours, but we just have to make sure it's official.
Yeah, we'll circle back. We'll fact check that one. Both and see our fact checker both said, they told us 2 p.m. when they told us the King and okay.
Oh, so we're getting an early Raw. We're getting an early Raw.
Yeah. There it is. So hopefully next week we'll have Tony back home and to cover that. With that being said, where can everybody find you?
Well, they can find me chirping sporadically on WWT Live as much as I can, Wednesdays, I'm back with Timeless Elite Wednesdays with me because we are continuing action with the Owen Hart Cup tournament with the men and the women's side. We're on the road to Forbidden Door in San Jose, California. So if you don't want to watch AEW Dynamite alone, you can watch it with me for 2 hours. So get ready. I know the last couple of weeks we had 3 hours, but we're back to 2 hours. I believe we're back at normal time. So get ready because there'll be a lot of shenanigans there. You can also follow me on my socials at Courtney NJ11 because I do have some content happening. I'm almost done editing my interviews from 80s Wrestling Con. I just edited my interview with Bronwyn Billington, the daughter of the British Bulldog, and I'm about to edit my interview with Dave LaGreca from there as well. So they should be up hopefully by this week. Also, make sure to follow ISPW because we got a lot of shows happening. We got a lot of shows happening in summer. Big one, of course, is in July in Wildwood because that will be the Headbangers final match. After that, they're going to call it quits and hang up their boots. So you do not want to miss it in Wildwood, New Jersey. Also, I'm trying to think of anybody else. Yeah, feel free to follow me because it's going to be an eventful summer here in the East Coast because we got shows happening. We got MLW coming. We have TNA. We also have NWA coming to Philly. And also this Saturday, I will be on the ground for Deanna and Steve Macklin's event. I'm very excited to be covering their event this weekend because this is all going to a good cause. Most of the proceeds are going to go towards veterans, which is really, really good because we'll see the Hardys, we'll see Megan Bain, Tiara James, many Priscilla Kelly's on the card as well. So a lot of people are going to be showing up. So feel free to say hello to me. It's going to be a fun event, and they're almost close to being sold out.
There it is. You got definitely Poundtown Wrestling. Check that out, June 13th. What else is happening? Oh, if you guys are a fan of the Netflix show Nemesis, we're going to be doing a post show in the next hour. So you can check that out. We're going to do the first one on WWT, so you can watch on WWT, but it's in partnership with a new network called Control TV. So check that out if you watch Nemesis. If you don't know what I'm talking about, think Power, and there you got Nemesis. Other than that, you can follow me everywhere at TK Trinidad. Make sure, tweet and DM said about Pound Town Wrestling. Make sure to definitely do that. Make sure you follow all things Women's Wrestling Talk on all social media platforms at www.talkpod.com. And thank you guys so much for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Ciao for now.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.